I'm not happy. I've lost. I've lost everything, Dad.
Theo, last week, the subscribers, the guests got 0 points from 4 games.
Guys, come on.
You got 2 points and I got 4 points, but I want to be respectful. So all I'm going to say, Theo, is loser.
You know what? Ignore this mug. Yeah. We've gone from the guests getting 0 points because we've got the subscribers on to an Indonesia Timnas Garuda Internazionale. Elkan Baggett, welcome back to the channel, son. Yeah, come on!
I'm all good, thanks, mate.
You obviously play for Bristol Rovers. Are you excited for it? You've been watching the Premier League, right?
Yeah, I'm a Premier League watcher. If I don't watch the games, I'm definitely following them.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's about 350 million people in Indonesia, so I want 1 million views and 100,000 likes.
No. No, I said if I get 12,000 likes, I have to go to Indonesia, Iraq.
Oh.
Their next game in the group.
Wow.
So the subscribers just whispered to me that if we get 22,000 likes, you're coming with me,
Mate, let's do it.
Let's get into predictions, Dog Dad. What's the first game?
And the first game is Newcastle United against West Ham United. It's 10th against 7th. 2 teams with their eyes on Europe next year, Theo. Now, Newcastle this season,
yes.
Win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. But I want to talk about one man, Jarrod Bowen. I'm going to say this, Theo. He's not going to be in the starting 11 for England, but if he was, I wouldn't mind. I think he's a cracking player.
Now, you don't have any family ties to Newcastle, West Ham.
No.
Neither do I, but I know someone who does. Elkan.
My dad and my missus' parents, they're West Ham fans.
You got to be careful what you say then, right?
I know, but I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham.
That is a mental prediction, and do you know what? Jarrod Bowen, the form that he's on, you can't stop him. I think Southgate's got a bit of a headache. With all our different options now, Jarrod Bowen's got to be on that plane.
Yeah, West Ham, meanwhile, Theo, I think they've not lost in the last 4 games. A good run of form. But can they go to St James's Park and do anything?
Well, they can. As Elkan predicted, a 2-1 win for West Ham. I can expect that. Ooh. They are in a position now where every point matters. David Moyes, he'll set them up the right way. I think they beat them at home as well. And Newcastle right now, they've only won 1 from the last 5 head-to-heads at St James's Park of this fixture. West Ham turn up in the northeast and get results. The Geordies going to win this 2-1.
And I agree, Theo, 2-1 to the Geordies. Chelsea against Burnley is 11th against 19th. It's London against Lancashire. Now, Chelsea unbeaten in 4 games, and they're starting to play some good football, aren't they, Theo?
Back-to-back wins recently, scoring lots of goals at home in the Cup, in the Premier League. Pochettino needs to bring that back. International break's over. Cole Palmer hasn't played much football for England, so he can focus on banging in the goals for the Blues. And it's one of the easiest fixtures in the whole calendar, Burnley at home. I mean, I know they're off the back of a Brentford win and a Forest points deduction, which means they're only 5 points adrift from surviving. Do you think Burnley could actually sneak something from this game?
Well, Theo, I said the other day, Burnley have to win 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 because they're 5 points clear, aren't they?
Well, look,
below the relegation.
If there's ever a game to do it, there's a reason Chelsea is 11th. They bottle it sometimes.
Burnley not doing too great this year, are they? So a Chelsea win. I'm gonna go 3-0.
Well, Theo, I respect Burnley for beating Brentford. That was a massive result. But I've been watching Chelsea recently. They are getting better. Players like Mudryk are starting to perform. I think this is going to be 3-1 to the Blues.
Well, all the Indonesians, I'm sure a lot of you support Chelsea because of Dennis Wise and his series with the Indonesian youth setup, being a Chelsea legend. I think you'll be happy to know I predict Chelsea 2, Burnley 0. What was it? What was the feeling though when you saw the 3-0 win? The most recent one against Vietnam. That's just incredible.
Even the first one, to be fair, was a really good win. The good thing about those 2 games is now it gives us some breathing room in the group.
Sheffield United against Fulham is 20th against 12th. It's the Blades against the Cottagers. It's Yorkshire against London. Now, Sheffield United, Theo, 8 points below the relegation zone. Have they got any chance here? Because this is must-win time, isn't it?
Their recent form, Dad, they just get battered. Like Thog Dad when he comes back after the red vinos when Thogmum sees him.
Theo, why am I getting so much abuse today?
5-0, 5-2. This is the reason for. I'm sorry, Dad. This could be the day Sheffield United get relegated. Mentally, anyway. I do not believe in Chris Wilder and the boys. Santiago Muniz masterclass. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 3.
You look at Fulham's recent form, a brilliant win against Spurs. They've won 3 of the last 4, and they're going to win this one.
Marco Silva will get the job done. What's the score?
2-1.
1 goal difference with Sheffield United?
Yes.
That's been 5 or 6 goal difference the last few weeks.
4-1 Fulham.
Rodrigo Muniz.
He played against us in the Carabao Cup start of the season. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually scored in that game.
Yeah, that is great knowledge.
Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace is 18th against 14th, and Forest, Theo, they are in the relegation zone. They had that 4-point deduction. They failed to beat Luton. That was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, they really battled, but unfortunately they didn't win, and they're going back to court to fight for their 4 points back. Nottingham Forest, it's looking tough for them right now. Even at the City ground, the one place you can rely on with that club getting results, they've got one win in the last 7 games under Nuno.
Yeah, now they're not playing badly, but somehow they're bottling it. I think it's 1 point in 4 games, and they're playing a Crystal Palace team who are maybe 1 or 2 games away from safety.
Well, they've got a new manager in Oliver Glasner. Before the international break, they had a no game week. So they've been in Spain on tour. Eze played in a friendly against Bodo Glimt, and he scored the only goal for Crystal Palace. So they've had time to revitalise, refresh.
But don't write off Nottingham Forest just yet, because there's a sense of injustice with that 4-point deduction. I think the players on the pitch will do the job. 2-1.
Wow, that's a huge prediction. I went 2-2. I'm sitting on the fence just because I think Palace have enough quality. If Eze Elise on that pitch, they're a different level, and you give them a half-yard goal.
Forest ground is a really tough place to go to.
I know after the points deduction, after the manager's been unlucky.
I think 1-0 Forest.
AFC Bournemouth against Everton is 13th against 16th. Bournemouth are probably safe. Everton, they are far from safe. And Bournemouth having a good little run. 1 drawn 1 over the last 3 games.
Yeah, and Dad, if they pick up 12 more points or more, they'll have a record-breaking season as a club. With Solanke scoring the goals and having a solid squad, Iriola's made it work. We can't forget that the first 9 games they were winless in the Premier League. So what a turnaround.
Well, it's all about runs for Bournemouth. It's either really bad or it's really good, and it's looking good at the moment. But Everton, defensively much better than Bournemouth. Can they get something here?
I don't think so, Dad. It's hard to predict Everton when they're 8 games without a win. You really reckon that during an international break, Sean Dyche grabs all the lads together and says, look, let's flip and figure this out.
Yeah.
Because it's not good enough. We're going to get relegated like this. I think he'd absolutely have bollocked them. Bournemouth have scored 3 or more goals in the last 3 head-to-heads of this fixture at home. So I'm going 3-1.
I'm going to sit on the fence. 1-1.
Well, Bournemouth at home have been strong this season, to be fair, and sometimes it's on fire. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Bournemouth.
Tottenham Hotspur against Luton is 5th against 17th.
Yes.
2 teams at opposite ends of the table. Now Spurs smashed against Fulham. Can they bounce back?
I think they can, you know. Elkan actually once represented Spurs, so let's go to him to see what he has to think.
Yeah, I played a few games for them. I did, yeah. Our games were against, there was a Japanese team called Sagan Tosu. We had Ajax, I think, PSG, Sagan Tosu. Pretty sure there was one more.
Oh, that's big.
Some big teams in there. I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs.
Now, you would expect goals here. You look at this fixture and you think, easy Spurs win. But Luton, they can surprise, can't they?
Well, they've had 2 weeks to lick their wounds from the Fulham game, a 3-0 loss away from home that ended a 38-match scoring streak. What a record that was, Dad, but it's all over now for Ange. I think he'll bounce back. I'm sure they won't miss out on scoring at Luton at home.
Yes.
There's going to be goals, probably both ways. I'm going to go for a 5-goal thriller.
Wow.
Can you predict
3-2? It's going to be
4-1.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go nearly that. I thought James Maddison came on for England and was really useful.
Yes,
he set
made a
up
massive
that late
difference.
goal, didn't he?
Set up the late goal, which you left the stadium to. You are one of the many England fans who left the ground when we were 2-1 down to Belgium. I stayed like a true patriot. Roast him in the comments, guys.
Cut that out.
No, don't! What's your prediction? Get it to.
Spurs are going to win 3-1. Aston Villa against Wolverhampton Wanderers, 4th against 9th, is a tasty Midlands derby. It's going to be proper naughty, isn't it, Thoggy?
Big game, massive. Villa looking to keep the top 4 away from Tottenham, and they're definitely going to win Luton at home. At least you expect that. So Villa at Villa Park have not been the same. 1 win in the last 4 in the Premier League, and they've actually never in the last 4 head-to-heads against Wolves, the West Midlands rivalry, they haven't actually got any victories in the last 4.
Now, they got a good point, didn't they, at the Olympic Stadium. This is the sort of game they would want to win. But you look at that Wolves team, they've won 3 of the last 4, and they're absolutely no mugs on their day. This is going to be a cracking Midlands derby.
And Dad, Leon Bailey actually quit playing football for Jamaica to focus on club football, which is interesting because Elkan represents Indonesia, where his mother's from. So let's go check with him what he thinks of that.
It's interesting because obviously it's not really happened before.
Because you always want to play for the nation.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, it's quite interesting.
Let's see if it helps his game, though. Douglas Luiz, goal-scoring, holding midfield. He's all over the pitch. He's brilliant. He should be in the Brazil team. And you've just got so much quality all over the pitch. Musa Diaby, the way he's playing. Ollie Watkins for Villa is a lot better than he is for England. I'm not sure what goes on there, but let's just stick to the video. Villa are going to win this.
They
2-1.
are ditto, you're right.
Yeah?
2-1 to Villa.
But Elkan disagrees.
See, I'm going to go with a boring result here. I'm just going to go with a 1-1.
Brentford against Manchester United is 15th against 6th. It's Matthew Benham against the Glazers. Who would you prefer as your owner?
Matthew Benham, Thursday night football with him.
Yeah.
Love him.
But he's not playing tonight. Matthew Benham, get back on that pitch.
You'll have to sell the club first and you're back on the Thursday night. Sorry, Brentford fans.
But seriously, Theo, Brentford 1 point in 5 games. That's not good enough, is it?
And like we spoke about Everton and a few other clubs going on a bad run, the international break, it's come at the exact right time to get the boys together, focus on the tactics.
It's also time to really like improve what you've not been doing well in games. So like you say, Brentford, if they've got 1 in 6, they'll be working hard on trying to do better, you know.
Ivan Toney scored for England. He looked good for England. He could have scored a couple more when Bowen set him up. And I do think that he will make the plane, and he's got to keep that going.
Ivan Toney, for me, it's not about being on the plane. For me, he is the number 2. Now, I've got massive respect for Ollie Watkins. He's had a brilliant season. But
the
I
way
think
England
Ivan,
play football,
correct,
the
Ivan
way you
Toney,
rely on him, you bring him off the bench if Kane's tired. Man, you don't want to defend against him.
Yeah.
I'm a centre-back in Sunday League. If I saw Ivan Toney, I'd shit myself.
Yeah, but you're not a very good centre-back. But anyway, we're carrying on with this video. Talking of good players, Theo, and England, Mainu.
I know he's great, but let's not jump the gun. Let's not put too much pressure on him. Let's let him blend into the system. I want him to be the very best player he can be, but let's not get too excited just yet. My prediction in this game, I don't think United win. 2-2 draw.
Brentford are poor. It's going to be Brentford 1, Man United 2.
I'm going to go for a Brentford 2-1.
Elkan, you're a United fan. What are you doing?
I know, but I'm just not confident in them, to be honest.
Oh, come on, what are you saying? That is ridiculous. Brentford to beat Man United? Put it in the comments what you think. Liverpool against Brighton. Hove Albion is second against 8th. This is a fascinating fixture between the Scousers and the Hips. And now, first of all, Theo, let's say the obvious.
Luis Diaz.
This has been an absolutely incredible season. You've got 3 teams within 1 point of each other. All you want to do is talk about Luis Diaz.
I love him.
Did you
Luis
meet him?
Diaz.
Did you
I
meet
met
him?
Luis Diaz Senior. I didn't film it.
Oh, you never mentioned that.
He was just dancing and stuff.
It's what he does. He's brilliant.
Brilliant. He's a legend.
I love him.
But his son is just balling out on the pitch. It was such a great day, that Colombia-Spain video. If you haven't watched my exclusive UEFA job video, it's on the screen now. It's on related videos. You know what? Just pause Prem Predictions, go watch that if you haven't already.
But anyway, Liverpool against Brighton. Surely it's a home win.
Yes, I do think so, Dad. I think Jurgen Klopp will not bottle it at this stage. He's on 64 points, the same as first place. He's the earlier kickoff to Man City Arsenal, predicted very shortly. He wants 3 points to just put themselves, no banana skin, get in front for the Premier League title. It's his last season. I think they'll do it. Luis Diaz to score twice, and they'll win 3-1.
This will be Liverpool 2, Brighton 0.
Yes.
I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool as well, actually.
And finally, it's Manchester City in 3rd place against Arsenal
Little small
in
game
first.
that we don't really need to mention. And we'll just, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. And yeah,
I think we've done that joke last week. But Theo, talk to me about Arsenal, because they've won 5 in a row.
Do they stand a chance?
They've scored the most goals this season. They've let in the least. Best attack, best defence. Brilliant.
Someone in the comments is going to have to convince me that Arsenal stand a chance in this fixture.
Of course they stand a chance. Why? We're not even debating that. These 3 teams are neck to neck all season. It's a fabulous season, and
City and Arsenal play
are
each other.
a fabulous team.
City and Arsenal play each other once or more every single year at the Etihad. You have to go back to 2015, 10 head-to-head fixtures since they last got a result. And to add to that, the pressure's never been more. Arsenal are in first. Man City are in third. This screams of a Man City win. Erling Haaland needs to bounce back after that penalty miss for Norway. De Bruyne didn't even play in the Belgium games. He's rested, ready. Pep Guardiola knows what he's doing. He's at home, which you can rely on more than ever. I just don't think anybody in the world in this fixture, when it matters the most, will get a result.
City, as you know, Theo, are famously good late in the season. 10 more games. It wouldn't surprise me if they win 9 of those. But Arsenal on the day can beat anyone.
Dad, look, you can't fool me. I'm not tomfoolery, am I? Okay? The prediction I'm going for, it's very simple. Manchester City are going to win this game 2-1. And you know I was going to line up. And I know Arsenal's form has been unreal. And I'm sure Rory Jennings will say Arsenal are going to win the league for a 500th time. Guess who's actually predicted something very different?
Saka at the double, 2-1 Arsenal.
No!
Oh my God.
No.
Elkan, are you crazy, my friend?
Right, leave it to me, Theo. It's going to be Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. City will win the league, City will win the FA Cup, City will win the Champions League. They will win a treble.
Clip it, clip it. Have a good rest of your weekend, all right? Take care.
Thanks, mate. You too. Cheers.
Elkan Baggett, what a hero. Thank you so much. Smash it, follow our predictions, and if one of us get it right, clip it, get it on TikTok, get it on the reels, get it all over the gaff. See you at Indonesia Rock.